Hello, friends. Happy Monday. What is the mindset that you're bringing to work this week? Okay, this week I have a powerful theme that I want to talk with you about fear, but more importantly, conquering your fear. So I want us to set a goal this week that you are going to conquer one of your fears. I want to read to you a quote that I read one morning. I get a daily quote. And I was in deep thought about a conversation, a difficult conversation that I was going to have that week. And at that moment, I picked up my phone and read, "What you're afraid to do is a clear indication of the next thing you need to do. Counter fear with action. What you're afraid to do is a clear indication of the very next thing you need to do." That hit me so hard because I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have this difficult conversation. And that quote just told me that's the next thing I need to do. I've got to have it. I'm afraid, but I got to do it anyway. I have to tell you, that's probably one of the top 10 quotes that I've ever read. I'm not afraid of a lot of things. I have experience, in so many different areas, and I've learned through the years how to deal with it and how to work through it. But that quote, what I loved about it was not only did it hit me right in a moment when I was, knowing I had to do something difficult, but equally important, it gave me a solution. It told me exactly what I needed to do. Let's ask ourselves, how long do we hold on to things that we're afraid of, things we're scared to do? How much energy goes into focusing on our fears? How much time do we waste in fear? Just replaying over and over again those thoughts. The powerful thing is that the second part of that quote tells us exactly what we need to do. Take the next step. So what are you afraid of? What do you need to tackle this week? What is that little inner voice saying to you? What's your intuition telling you? Is it something personal or professional you need to deal with? Is it relational, like a difficult conversation? Is it, getting out of your comfort zone and maybe you're afraid of failing or missing the mark or making a mistake? Maybe you're afraid of setting a goal and not achieving it, or embarrassing yourself, or letting someone else down. Or more importantly, what if you let yourself down? Fear is different than worry. Fear because it's physical. It manifests itself in a physical way. You might have a racing heart, like your heart might be beating fast. You might get dizzy, or you might get fuzzy in the brain, or you might start sweating. You might feel it in a headache or a stomach ache. Fear when you feel it. And oftentimes it paralyzes us. And we just rotate that emotion over and over again. So what I thought I'd do today is just share a quick personal story of some fear that set in with me. And it may not even be a fear that you can relate to, but my hope is that as I talk about how I worked through that fear, maybe it helps you overcome your fear this week. So I was having a business conversation with my mentor in the business, Julie, and we were talking about social marketing and how to be effective in social marketing, and we were agreeing on everything. That Facebook is a powerful way to connect with people that you care about, your friends. We were talking about that it's a big no-no to sell on Facebook, that it's such a turnoff, but that educating or inspiring was good, or sharing your personal life, that was a good thing. So we were just discussing lots of options, like posting on your profile, or setting up a secret group, or a business page. And so we're going along having this logical business conversation, agreeing on everything, and she told me that She had tried all of those things, and that what she had found most effective was going on her personal profile and sharing that we're in a relationship business, and that she found that that was, the most effective way. And I get all of that. I've hired teams to do social media. I've taught how to do it. And I also know that when you're learning something new, you can know what to do, but maybe you don't know how to do it. And so she was advising me. I was 7 weeks in the business, and, it was the month of February. It was very cold outside. But what I wasn't prepared for was what came next. And Julie said to me, you need to go on Facebook and you need to share on your personal profile. And I thought, yeah, I'm doing that. You'll see, I'm starting to share a little bit of my personal life and what's going on. And she said, no, I want you to go share your personal story. And all I can remember is at that moment, I guess our brains work so fast, I started sweating. I mean, I'm looking out the window and there are icicles hanging off the tree. There is ice on the ground. I've got layers of clothes on and I'm sweating. I can feel it. I'm going to go on my personal profile and I'm going to share. I don't think so. And I start taking a layer of clothes off. And I said, what story? And she said, you're going to go on and tell your story. And more layers come off. I am sweating. And I'm like, do I have a story? And she was like, yeah, you have a story. You told me your story when you first joined. So I've run marathons and I haven't sweated that much. And now I've taken about off all that I can take off. And we're having this discussion. And she said, I want you to go online and I want you to share your story. And so I've got these multiple conversations going on in my head. This one conversation I'm having with Julie, and it's very logical. And I'm going, yes, I understand. Yep, that makes sense. It's very logical. I know what I need to do. And then on the next conversation, I'm like, in my mind saying, like, hell, I'm going to go on Facebook and tell my personal story. You guys know I've had no presence on my social media. Like, the defensiveness came in, and I'm having this conversation while I'm over here talking to her about there is no way. And then this third conversation starts popping up, and it's like, what are you afraid of? Why are you feeling that way? What are you going to do about it? How are we going to discover? So I've got these multiple conversations. This is going on for about 10 minutes. I'm sweating. She's telling me what to do. She's staying calm. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do now? And then in that moment, I reminded myself, my mentor is where I want to be. I want to go to the top of this company. I want to take people with me. And the last thing I'm going to do is get in the way of myself. The last thing I'm going to do is let fear stop me. If she's telling me that's what I need to do, I'm beginning to say, oh crap, that's what I'm going to have to do. And so we went on talking. I mean, honestly, for 10 minutes, all I heard was blah, 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 blah. And then I made that decision. I made the commitment. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And then, when you make a commitment, you got to set a deadline. And this is going to sound so silly. But what I did is I said, okay, if I don't set a deadline, I know I'm afraid I'm going to put this off. So today is Monday afternoon. The housekeeper comes on Wednesday. I can't be doing a video while she's vacuuming. I only have Tuesday to get my video done. So we hang up the phone. I told Julie, yep, I'm going to do it. We hang up the phone. I didn't think about how I was going to do it. I didn't think about, anything beyond. I made a commitment. I set a deadline. This was the next step, the thing I was afraid to do the most that I needed to do. And so maybe you're comfortable on social media. Maybe you're comfortable, doing what I'm afraid of. Guys, I have spoken in front of thousands of people. I've done lots of public speaking. I've done this stuff, but for some reason, I'm like, why was this bothering me? Hello, it's getting personal. it's like opening up and sharing on social media when my friends from high school are going to see me and I haven't even talked to them since I was in high school. Or maybe there were people that could care less what's going on in my life. Those were all the thoughts that were going on in my mind. And then I just started thinking about, wait a minute, Facebook is my friends. They're the people that care about me. So get over yourself, Melissa. So when I finished the videos and got ready to post them, all that fear stepped back in. I didn't focus on the fear while I was creating the video, but I'm getting ready to post it, and now it's getting ready to go live, and I am scared to death. The sweats start again. And that's when I realized that your fear is just being selfish, that I'm just getting in the way of myself. I'm being self-centered when I'm afraid. And I said to myself, if my story helps one person, then it will be a successful post. Then I will accomplish the goal that I've set out to accomplish. So I went ahead and posted it. I went out for a run. It was about 6 a.m. and I got a text not 10 minutes later from a dear friend. And I stopped to read the text, and the text said, Melissa, thank you so much for your post this morning. It's just what I needed to hear. Your message was so inspiring. I am so sick of my corporate job. I'm so stuck. I'm so miserable. And I've forgotten to dream. And your message reminded me of that. And I just wanted to tell you thank you. I needed to hear that. Guys, after I got that message, I was like, the rest is gravy. I accomplished a goal. I was afraid and I did it anyway. And I moved out of the way and pushed through that fear. So I ask you, what is your fear this week? What is the one thing that you're afraid of that now is saying that's your next step? I want you to go out this week, face your fear, and make it happen. Okay, you guys have a great week.